Well, since we're down on the Clint train, this was unscripted and unplanned, but let's just throw out. So, if you had to throw at the top of your list, and it's really hard, so maybe I'll have to pull up a list while we're talking to figure out some movies so we don't forget. What are the best? What are your favorite Clint Eastwood movies? And I mean that qualified by you really want to watch them over and over again. Like obviously there could be a movie that you can recognize as a great movie, but I'm not gonna sit through that like 15 times. But all right, we're
Well,
gonna go to Desert Island. We go to Desert Island. We get to pick 5 Clint Eastwood movies to take. Which 5 are we taking?
oh well, I would for the westerns, I would definitely take Unforgiven
Okay.
because that was a
Best
great movie.
best modern movie, best modern western of all time,
I think so.
in my opinion.
I would take obviously Dirty Harry,
Okay.
and I would take well, I would take the Deadpool and Sudden Impact because those three were probably my favorite Dirty Harry movies.
So
we
you're
got
a
three.
much more Dirty Harry fan than me. I will
Oh yeah, very
definitely
much so.
right out. What about
Oh
the
yeah.
original? What about the spaghetti westerns?
Oh man, I loved Hang 'Em High, and I liked The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Obviously, that's
Okay, well that's
like
the
a
classic.
classic.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, because I did a full review on those. Fistful of Dollars and a few dollars more when I rewatched them, they were so much better than I remembered them being. Like I
They
understand Good,
probably were,
Bad, and
but
the Ugly.
honestly, I don't remember them.
I know. Watch them again. I'm telling
I'm
you,
gonna have to.
I was so shocked at how good they are, especially
Yeah.
Fistful of Dollars. And it was to me the one thing that struck me, and this is why I've always enjoyed Clint Eastwood westerns so much more than John Wayne's and the Ford films, because Clint's character always gets beat up. He always has struggles. Like he's really
Yeah.
overcoming major conflict. So many of those mainstream westerns that John Wayne made famous, and I'm just picking on him, but obviously there's several other
Yeah, no, but
actors.
he was always like this big, strong,
Yeah, they're clean. There's no
invincible kind of
mud.
guy.
Yeah, it's my grandfather always had this
Right.
joke where he would try to do a John Wayne impersonation because he would never get hurt, and it was always like, next time you shoot someone, make sure they're dead. And I'm like, that is so John Wayne. Like that was the embodiment of those westerns. Was he never really gonna die? I mean,
Right.
okay. So all right. So could we throw me a bone with at
Well,
least
the other
one
thing,
more spaghetti western
which
instead
one?
of at least one more spaghetti western? Because I'm going to throw out Pale Rider.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But what always impressed me with those westerns was how great of a movie it was, where it was made, and like they didn't really have like these huge budgets or anything.
Oh
And
no, that was the whole point.
because
They
most of
were
these were
mocked
made
by
in
Hollywood.
Italy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
most of these were
mocked by
made in
Hollywood.
Italy. And they were,
Sergio
they had
Leone
these low
is
budgets, and they made these phenomenal movies that just, were fantastic. I mean, they just, they became classics. And I don't think they intended it at the time. They were just cranking them out, but they were just good movies,
I think when Sergio Leone was making these films, Hollywood was just there was this massive divide on what two things. And obviously, when you get into like the Tarantino universe and you get into his Django films and Hateful Eight, and even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he touches on a lot of that. And you start to get some of the folklore if you're not into it, and it really is fascinating. But yeah, for me, before Unforgiven, it would have been Pale Rider as the modern ones of the Clint Eastwood ones. So it was pretty good. Let me see if there's anything else in here. I mean, see, I'm not a big fan of. Go ahead.
Gran Torino.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about Gran Torino, and I was gonna ask you about American Sniper because he directed it. I don't know if that counts. Do we count the ones he directed only?
I forgot that, but he wasn't in it, but he directed it. Yeah, he directed it, but he wasn't in it. So I thought we were just doing movies he was in.
Well, he has an uncredited role. Do we know that? What is that? What is this? What is this uncredited role? Hold on, I'm Googling as we.
Oh, maybe he was Sniper number 7 or something.
Wouldn't that be great if he was really one of the other snipers? I would not even rule that out. Would you?
He was grouchy drill sergeant prior to deployment.
Look, someone else is Googling it because it says Eastwood.
Oh, speaking of that, Heartbreak Ridge.
Yeah, I can't put it at the top though. I mean, I'm not gonna.
No, I can never put it at the top, only because if it didn't have Mario Van Peebles in it, is that his name, Mario?
Yeah.
If he was not in it, it probably would have been at least 40% better.
He's in gear. I don't know which scene he's in, but there definitely are shots of him in gear. So he may have been in it after all. I would never have given him credit for being in that one. So
Right.
yeah,
the American Sniper was great. I did enjoy that a lot. And
Gran Torino was really, really good. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I don't know that it's rewatchable enough for me to be on the island, but I would definitely consider it.
I would take Gran Torino on the island.
I think there's one that you're forgetting that I think will bump something off the list really quick, because it would for me. I can rewatch in the Line of Fire over and over and over again. I really like that movie.
I have never seen that.
It is extremely underrated because at that point, he's in that phase, because it's in the mid-90s, where the older actors were losing some of the Hollywood cred and the respect. So he's looked at as this old actor, and it's unbelievable that he could be the secret stage, which is actually laughable by today's standards, where these actors that are 70 and 80, like him, are doing these roles. So when you watch it, it's kind of weird because they kind of play up how old he is. But in hindsight, whatever. I don't really. I mean, I enjoy a lot of the other movies like Escape from Alcatraz and Any Which Way You Can, Every Which Way
Escape
But
from
Loose.
was all right. I wasn't. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't really something that I enjoyed that much.
Have you ever watched High Plains Drifter in a while? I watched it last year, and when I was on my Western
I
binge.
did.
It is.
That
dark.
was a great movie too.
It is dark though. Ooh, it is dark.
Yeah.
That movie's not for everyone, folks. If you've never seen High Plains
that was a
Drifter,
good movie, though.
Strap yourself in, because that's a dark film. Ooh, it's great though. What a cast! That has an all-star cast, by the way. Just an all-star cast. So.
All right. So since we said dark,
yeah.
Now can we switch movies, or are we still staying with Clint?
No, we can switch movies, and we can go on. Is there anything else you think we should talk about with Eastwood? I'm pretty happy. That's a pretty good examination for me. I don't see anything major that stands out. I'm sure there's a couple things that someone might throw at us, and that's fine. I mean, I could argue, and there's a lot of stuff early in his career that I probably have seen, but they're not anything that stands out to me that I'm like, yeah, that's a must see, a must keep, whatever. Yeah, I'm okay. So,
right.
What do you think?
Because he made guest appearances on TV shows too, didn't he? At times, in the very, very early, like mid '60s and stuff, on those Western shows.
We got to start on Bonanza. I mean, that's literally how he got his start. That's why that's what got him the gig on go to Italy and do the spaghetti westerns. So.
Right. Yeah, I thought so.
Well, this is Kevin Murphy from Rip Tracks and Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Hey, this is Mark from Casting Crowns. Hey, this is Alan Powell from the film The Song.
Hey, this is Christian Kane.
This is Colin Mockery.
Hello, everybody. This is Irony Singleton, a.k.a. T-Dog from The Walking Dead, and you are listening to my main man, Brandon.